So fill up your cup as you listen in. Wake up in the morning with Shelly on WAPN. On WAPN.
Good Thursday morning. Thankful Thursday. How are you this morning? I am great. A little bit tired, but hey, that's why they have protein drinks, just so y'all know, and a cold Coke. Yep, that is my plan, and I'm sticking to it. I was at the hospital last night in the ER with a friend till like 9 o'clock, came home, got some rest, and back at it. So pray for my friend Wanda for wise decisions, that the doctor can figure out what's going on with her sodium, and healing from the top of her head to the soles of her feet and everywhere in between. So, and pray for me for strength as I do all this today. I got it. God's got it. He's going to help me do it. And I know that. And so it's a little bit cold out this morning, just so y'all know. And when I came out of the hospital last night, I did not have my jacket, and it was brrr to get to the car. Got up this morning, I thought, it is going to be a cold day today, but it is winter. It is the Christmas season, so it should be a little bit cold out there. And it is Thankful Thursday. I am thankful for an awesome husband, thankful for a great job that I have, an amazing grandson. Shout out to my grandson, Colin, and just thankful. You get to change your stinking thinking every single day. You can have stinking thinking and turn your day to sour, or you can say, okay, this is what's good. There's always something good in the situation. There is always something to be thankful for. And, I was sitting here working this morning. I was thankful for the building. I was thankful that I did have a jacket to wear to here today. I was thankful for a job to come to. I was thankful for the internet, and thankful for my computer, and thankful that I have work to do, and so I just started preparing my day. Now, I could have had 85 other things that could have been going wrong. I forgot this at home. I forgot that at home. And then I thought, in the grand scheme of things, that is nothing. I can stop back by the house. I only live a mile and a half from here. I can do this. I can do anything that I need to do today. And so, God, you got today, and I'm going to walk through it boldly with a good attitude, a smile on my face, and praising the Lord. I might be the only Jesus somebody sees today, and I want to be a good example of how I should be acting. That's one thing. I was pushed to the limit the other night. I was in a rush trying to take care of something, and this man wanted to give me a hard time about the Buffalo Bills. And I just looked at him with like a deer with headlights on, and I was like, buddy, I'm in the middle of a crisis, and I don't care. And he just looked at me like, well, and I was like, well, but I thought about it afterwards, and I probably didn't handle that the best I should have handled that. But he should have also had grace also. And, that's the thing. Sometimes we'll be kidding around, or we'll be trying to make light of something, and the other person just isn't there. They're in a crisis. They just went through something. They got a bad report. We don't know what it is. But when we need to read the room, we need to know how to read the room. That is my word for the day. Read the room. Yep. And so I need to read the room. And so I got up this morning, and I was praying about some stuff, and I was praising the Lord, and I was asking God what we're going to do today. And he said, I'm going to show you how I want you to handle today. And I believe that just now live on the air, he showed me how he wants me to handle the day. Read the room. And what that means is, just because you're happy-go-lucky and you're excited about the holidays, and you're liking the little nip in the air, and you got your little sweatshirt on and your lights are twinkling, that does not mean that everybody has the joy that you have about the holiday. And there could be 1,012 reasons why they don't. And you need to read the room. So don't start preaching at them. Don't start, doing all the stuff. Read the room and meet them where they're at, and just show them the love. And, that's another thing. I'm a Christian, been a Christian forever. Jesus is the reason for the season, all things. But you also have to read the room by cramming it down somebody's throat also. There's been times in my life that I didn't want it crammed down my throat at that very moment. I just wanted somebody to come alongside of me and just be there. Let me have a bad day. Let me get through what I was going through, and not, whatever. Now, yes, I liked that they were being positive, and yes, I liked they were speaking encouragement into me. But I didn't need to be preached at. I didn't need to be told everything I was doing wrong. I needed to have a cheerleader. I needed somebody just to hold me up in that moment. You can show more grace and more God through you by just being a cheerleader, by just sitting there quietly. I'm probably one of the best people to have if you need to go to the hospital or to a waiting room or whatever, or you're waiting for surgery or whatever. And I don't mean that as a wonderful thing. I mean that is because I've been a caretaker for a lot of people in my life, and God has just chose me to do that. And, I'm fine with that. But as a caretaker, God has showed me that, always have, first and most, always have a cold drink with you, like a water, like a Stanley. Always have some kind of snack in your purse or your pocket or whatever. And bring a charger. That's something I don't do well, is bring my charger. So thank you. I'm going to throw that in my bag right now. But I just sit there playing on my phone, being quiet. If they need something, I'm going to help them. But I'm just going to sit there to support you in any way you need to be supported. If you need a blanket, if you need to be mad, if you need to whatever, I'm just going to sit there and support you. And that's part of being a caretaker. Well, that is some strength that God has really given me. Because do you know me? Do you know me well? I am loud. I am outgoing. And I'm a get her done kind of girl. I am a get her done kind of girl. But there's time and a place to do that. And there's a time and a place to be still. And there's a time and a place to show grace. Grace that you've never shown before. And so that is what's great about when I'm a caretaker, because I'm not worried about eating. I'm not worried about sleeping. I'm not worried about anything. Now, the phone charger does kind of bother me, but because I need to be able to get help or whatever if I need it. But I can just sit there for hours in the most uncomfortable chairs. It could be freezing in the room. It could be whatever. And I can just sit there for hours. And if you know me, that is a very weird thing that is what I can do. But that is something that God has equipped me with. God has given me that because I love. When I love unconditionally. And when I love way more than 100%. And I will do anything for my friends or my family or my grandkids or whatever. And so that is part of a caretaker. A caretaker in the moment. My glasses are very dirty. In the moment of a crisis or whatever's going on, I am very good about just sitting. And I was thinking about my dad last night as I was driving home, and it was dark out, and I was a little bit tired, and I was drinking down a protein drink at 9:30, and I was thinking about him. And I remember something my dad used to always say, and to this day, it blesses my heart. My dad, when he was in the hospital, he knew I work weird hours, and he knew that I'd get up whatever and have to get her done to get the day going. So whatever it took to keep WAPN going, I would come in at whatever time so that when my dad needed me, I would be available. Now, I wouldn't sleep in the hospital with my dad, and I think I only slept in the hospital with my mom one time because they get something to sleep. And they're going to sleep. And I knew that I would get no sleep, and that wouldn't be good for anybody. So I remember one morning, and I got in here, and I was taking care of business, and my phone rings, and it's my dad. It was such authority. My dad says, "I need you." And it was like 4-something in the morning. I said, "Okay, Dad, I'm on my way." And I get to the hospital, and I just hit that button to let myself basically in once I was scanned in, and this was back in the day when you didn't have to get, go through security and have your bags checked and your knee get wanded and all that stuff. And so I get up to his floor, and I hit the button, and I get scanned on in, and I get in, and I'm walking down the hall, and the lady says, the night nurse says to me, "I'm so sorry. Your dad said he could call you and you would come." And I said, "Yes, ma'am, I will." And she goes, "But it's the middle of the night." I said, "If my dad needs me, I'm coming. I will be there. He knows me." And she goes, "Well, it was so cute because he had some problems. He was getting, upset. And he said, 'Call my daughter. She will come and take care of it.'" With such authority. Do you call on your father? And I was thinking about that with my dad. Who do you call on? When it's a crappy day, a good day, a whatever day, when you're going through it, you're not going through it, you just have to say the name of Jesus. And I was thinking about my dad, and I was thinking about, the hospital makes me think about a lot of things. And I was thinking about calling on the name. So when I was walking, to my car last night, and I was cold, and hungry and all the other things. But I was thankful and appreciative and all the other things also. And I got it was dark out there. My car was way over there. And I just said, Jesus, take the wheel, take me home, give me the best night's sleep. And I got home and Tim and I were talking for a minute. The last words I said was Jesus. And I just smiled from ear to ear. Call on Jesus. But as you're calling on Jesus and as you're helping others through some stuff this time of year, because there's some stuff this time of year, remember, not everybody feels the way you feel. Not everybody is excited, or not everybody has a family, or not everybody whatever. So you're going to have some grace. But come alongside somebody and just encourage them and hold them up and be there for them. You might be the only Jesus on earth they see. So have some grace today. Well, I am going to be out of here. I'm headed back to the hospital, and I am going to drink a protein drink. Got a cold Coke, and I'm going to grab a charger. I'm going to head back to the hospital. Pray for wisdom and direction as I get there, and that, the Lord lead, and that be a good steward today, and respect today. And listen, even when you want to be combative, sometimes somebody just needs you to listen to them. And I think that's why God has made me a caretaker. Because like I said, when I am in that crisis mode, that mode where somebody is just in shock and freaked out, whatever they are, that's when God has me show up my best. He quiets my spirit. He has me sit there and show grace. And he just has me love on them. Why don't you be that for somebody today? Y'all, let's get our favor on. Let me tell you about the weather, and let's get this day going. God is working out everything for your good. No matter what does or doesn't happen, just keep on believing for the favor of God in your life. I know I've got the favor of God in my life. He's doing it. He's working it out, and I got it. It is Thursday, Thankful Thursday, December 11th, 2025. The weather today, 65 with the low 48. It's the wind that's just cutting through me. Madison, 60 with the low 40. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday. Marcus and Parker and Pamela and Kamala and everybody else that's celebrating a birthday, anniversary, whatever you're celebrating. Today is a pretty cool day. Today is National App Day. If you've got an Apple phone, download the Apple app for WAPN. It's WAPN Radio. And what that stands for, Word and Praise Network Radio. So download us on your Apple product and take us everywhere and anywhere that you go. Remember the Clydesdale horses today, 4 o'clock at Sam's. They are awesome. They're so gorgeous to go see. It's just so neat. The drive-through Bethlehem is happening right now at drive-through. Well, not right now, but tonight at drive-through Bethlehem is happening at the drive-through church over on Beachside. And remember the parade. The best parade I think of the year is the Ormond Parade. It's a country theme this year. I've got friends going to be walking in it, and they're floating. And WAPN has a banner in it. So it's just going to be an awesome opportunity. And that is Saturday night at 6 p.m. If you see the WAPN banner, take a picture and send it to me. I'm going to be on the opposite side. So I will not be on the side that the banner is on. So if you see the banner, snap a shot for me and send it to me. Well, y'all, I'm out of here. I'll be at the hospital taking care of some stuff. Y'all pray for me. Pray for Wanda. Pray for direction. Pray for the doctors. Pray for the situation.